Thank you so much for coming back. Welcome. It has been a couple of months since I've created a new video for my YouTube channel, and that was intentional. The holidays were pretty busy, as I'm sure they were for you as well, and I really needed to take some downtime to pause and really get intentional about how I wanted to show up this year in my practice, in my business, and on the YouTube channel. So it's been an amazing time to regroup and just explore and really dig into what I want to pull in for this year. So thank you for showing up and welcome back. This is Rising One Coaching. And this is a space that I'm creating for women to come have a safe space, have some support, and basically to let you know you're not alone. We're all in this together. Well, today I wanted to share with you a recent decision that I've made. And it is the decision to go from calling myself a coach into calling myself a mentor or a guide. And I'll share with you the reasons why I don't refer to myself as a coach anymore. Not because there's anything wrong with it or anything bad, but as I've really learned about myself and my practice, it really started revealing itself, this very different path that I wanted to take with my practice. So I did a little digging. And I looked up the actual differences and the definition between a coach and a mentor. So I'm just going to read those off to you so you can have a really clear definition of what the difference is between the two. So a coach focuses on a specific skill and short-term performance goals, using very structured methods to help you find your own solutions. And that's actually a commonality with mentoring and what I do. I help you uncover your own wisdom, your own answers. I don't give them to you. And the difference between a coach and a mentor really offers more long-term guidance, wisdom, as opposed to knowledge. There is a difference between the two, and support that's based on their extensive experience, and often with a holistic view behind your development. Coaches are more hired as experts in a specific skill set, and mentors are usually older folks. I'm 51, so I'm definitely in that like later in life phase, but they're there to really share their journey and the connections, the networking. So the more I learned this, and it was sort of a feeling that I started having earlier on, like I knew I was meant to do this differently. And so when I started to dig into this and really learn more about it, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm definitely more of a mentor. So, based on more the holistic practices, really pulling out and sharing my life experiences was very important to me. And really building stable, strong, very connected, long-term relationships with people is so important to me. So I wanted to show up today and just talk a little bit about that and share some of my experience so you could just get to know me a little bit better. And just let you know, if you're not quite sure about the coaching world, there are amazing coaches out there, people who are such experts, so knowledgeable with what they do. And if you're looking for something very specific, so many places and people you can explore that are just incredible. But if you're looking for something more holistic, sort of more of a comfortable connection, very supportive, very safe kind of a space. I embody creativity. I embody spirituality. And like I said before, definitely holistic practices to really help you dig deeper into your internal world and to make those transitions and transformations in your own life. And we walk this journey together. That's the other thing. I really want to stand beside you and help to guide and support. But honestly, you have all the wisdom that you need. You have all the answers within you. I'm here to help you pull that out. So, why using the term coach never really felt right to me. It felt kind of like putting on a jacket that looked really great. It was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And you go to put it on and it just doesn't fit quite right. It has so much of the things that I thought I really wanted and were going to be great, but it didn't fit me. And it looks amazing on other people, but for me, it doesn't look so good. I was meant for something different. So that's really why I switched from calling myself a coach to calling myself a mentor. And, I term myself as a creative guide. And actually on my website, I have spiritual seeker because I'm really seeking truth. I'm really looking for the connectedness, building the relationships. And, I do refer to myself as like a spiritual guide or a mentor, but when I really stripped it down, I'm like, I'm a seeker. And I really feel like we take this journey together. So that's why I don't use the word coach anymore. I really prefer guide and mentor. And when I really think about the kind of support that I want to provide for women, what it looks like, what I'm doing right now is I'm working with women in group settings, and I started to do creative workshops because my background is as an artist. I went to college. I have my Bachelor of Science in Studio Art Graphic Design, and I fell into the framing world after I graduated from college, never knowing that I would end up having a business. But I have been in the framing business for 30 years. I've had my own framing business since 2004. And I love being a part of creativity and so many different aspects of it. I get to work with clients who bring in the coolest projects, and it really does stretch me in a lot of different ways depending on materials and what's involved, size, so many different things go into it. But the most important thing to me is relationships. The technical skill, of course, is very important when it comes to framing. You need to know the materials, you need to know how to measure, how to cut. But for me, it's really the strength and the foundation of my business are relationships. And the coolest thing, when I started this spiritual journey 4 years ago, the coolest thing as I started to reflect on my life is that I noticed that in my framing business, I was being trained to work as a guide and a mentor. The relationships that I have with my clients are amazing. I work with the best people. I love all of them. And so many of my clients have actually turned into really close friends of mine. And it's not uncommon for people to come in to my design room, and we'll do the framing, or before we even get started, we'll just start talking, and we'll talk for like 30 minutes or more. And they're beautiful, deep, meaningful conversations. And I absolutely love that. I've had people tell me they felt like they just had a therapy session. They feel so much lighter. They feel happier. They wish they could stay because they just feel so comfortable and safe. So when I really felt pulled into this career path of mentoring, And I did get a dual coaching certification for health and life coaching. I'll get into that in a little bit. But when I started feeling this pull towards doing this kind of work outside of my framing business, I could see how I was really being trained all this time, working with people, developing trust, developing authentic connections, listening, holding space where people feel safe and they feel they are able to be vulnerable. They're able to open up. We've cried. We've laughed. We've gotten angry about different things. All emotions are welcome and all have been present. And so I'm so grateful that my two businesses actually kind of support each other in an interesting way. And I've been on this journey training for this career path as a guide and mentor for years without even knowing it, which is great. So I do have my Bachelor of Science in Studio Art Graphic Design, as I mentioned before. I've owned my business for 22 years now, which is incredible. And so this guide mentoring path for me is newer, but like I said, being a mentor, I have had a lifetime of developing so many different skill sets because of so many different experiences. And I'm sure that you are sitting here listening and could relate to so many of the same types of experiences. I have gone through the divorce of my parents when I was 30 years old. I have gone through my own divorce. I have lived, 13 years now as a single mom, raising two kids jointly, not totally on my own. My ex-husband is very supportive and we do have a good relationship, thankfully. But I have grown my business and gone through the certification process to do the mentoring, and I have had heartbreak, I have had loss, I have had trauma, as I'm sure you have been through as well. And the most amazing thing that I have discovered is that through this spiritual journey that I've been on the last 4 years, it has cracked me open and taught me so much about myself that I never thought was possible. I have been able to change my life in the most beautiful ways. I have been able to release and let go of things that I never thought that I could. I have let go of relationships that were just not good for me. One especially a little over a year ago, I had to let go of, I was engaged. We were going to get married. And I ended up finding out that substance abuse on a large scale was involved. I wasn't aware of it at the time, but everything came out, and you might have gone through the same thing too. So I was actually going through my coaching certification while everything fell apart. And I was so grateful for that program, the Health and Life Coaching Program. My certificates are right over here, and I'll show you right over here, framed. So I've been able to frame them. They're on my wall in my mentoring office. But I was so grateful for that program because it really gave me such a strong purpose. In addition to my framing clients and my children and my friends and family, that program and having that new revived sense of purpose really carried me through that very difficult time. And it actually, because of all the work that I've done over the last 4 years, I was able to move through that experience with more grace, more introspection, and more clarity than if I had gone through something like that a few years before. So the thing that really pulled me into this career path as a mentor and a guide was going through my own transformations and seeing how it just completely changed my life in the most amazing ways. And I want that for everybody. Anyone who's ready to bring in more, anyone who's ready for change and to really pull in more things that are meant for you, your purpose, more alignment in your life. Whether or not you believe in a greater power, you might call that greater power God, source, the universe, could be love. I believe it's all the same energy. So I do refer to my higher power as God or my creator, which I love saying my creator because we are all creators, and I especially identify with that one as an artist. So I love that term. But that sort of gives me another little segue into this next section I wanted to talk about. So naturally, as creators, and I believe that we're all born creators, we literally create our lives every day with the choices and the decisions that we make. And I really wanted to talk about how creativity, reflection, and being able to bring a sense of calm into your life really promotes real change. So creativity allows us to explore and expand, to try new things, to go through that process of beginning something, and then it might completely change by the end. But it really helps us to use certain problem-solving skills and really think outside of the box and come up with solutions to situations we might not have thought before. And also, getting into that state of creativity puts us into the zone of flow. And when we are in the zone of flow, we're able to receive so much incredible information and insight, which is life-changing. The power of reflection is also such an incredible way to change your life because it allows you to go inward, and going inward just opens up and reveals so much about ourselves that we might not have let come to the surface. I feel like you kind of know a lot of things about yourself, but you don't always trust it. And when I'm working with women, one of my biggest passions is helping them to develop that sense of trusting themselves. We know so much. Our bodies carry wisdom. We are so wise. And we've been taught for so long not to trust how we feel. And sometimes how we show up and what we're experiencing, it's invalidated. So I really want people to learn to trust their inner wisdom. And a lot of that comes through with reflection and inner work. A lot of clients love to do journaling. It's a huge way that they're able to document experiences, and things are often revealed through that journaling process. So I use a lot of journaling and reflection in my workshops, along with creativity. And being able to calm yourself, calming your nervous system. We do a lot of breathing and meditation and visualization in my workshops as well. And this is so critical because being able to get yourself into that calm state, that creates so much clarity. So when you are facing a difficult situation, you can show up with a clear mind, a clear state. And oftentimes I've noticed for myself, that is when the inspiration and the solutions reveal themselves, when you are in that calm state and you're able to move forward with a strong grounding. It's amazing. So these are things that are very important in my practice that I share and guide and work with women on. Emotional honesty. Sometimes you'll hear things In the spiritual community, you'll hear the word spiritual bypassing, where, it's often thrown around where people will say, well, just think positive thoughts, be high vibe. That is a detachment from our human earthly experience. We're meant to come here to experience these emotions, to feel the things that we feel. I believe we're meant to learn and grow from them and through them. And the only way to do that is to move through them and learn how to process so that you can release them and let them go. And that releasing and letting go is what allows us to reach that joy, that sense of calm, that higher state of awareness. So that's really important to me as well. And creating a space where creativity flows and that there's safety, there is calm, there's the ability to be vulnerable without having to worry about how people are going to react or how I would react. It's so important to me to create calm spaces. And I do that through lighting. I love to use LED candles, lots of art materials. I often dim the lights when we're doing a meditation and just have the candles going. I love to use natural oils as like a background scent. I'm very scent oriented. I always like to smell good and smell beautiful things. So really creating a space where our senses are allowed to experience calm and joy and peace so that we can get into those creative, receptive spaces and really dig deeper. So these are the things that are really important to me in my practice that I embody and actively create when I'm working with these groups of women. I'm excited because I'm currently doing a workshop right now, and it's a 3-session workshop, and each session is 2 hours long. We start with a little introduction, a beautiful meditation and visualization, and then we move into reflective journal prompts. And then we end with our creative portion, and it's just materials everywhere. And we had our first session a couple weeks ago, and one of the women just kept saying out loud, "I'm having so much fun. This is so great. I love this. I'm so glad I came." And another woman who's an artist said how great it was that she had an opportunity to just create freely and not having to think about selling her work. Is this something that people are going to buy? Making it marketable. She was just able to express herself freely as an artist. And that just brought me so much happiness to see that opening and that beautiful, just the eyes lighting up, smiles, and just, it was wonderful. So I'm going to be, and I already have actually created one video, and because it's been such a great experience, I decided that I'm going to take all the elements of these 3 separate workshops. They all tie together. They're called Rise and Bloom 2026. And it's an intention setting journey. We are looking forward to our year, setting intentions, really calling in what it is we want for our year, and using a journal as a way to do our reflective prompts, journaling, creative practices, doodling, scrapbooking, collaging. So I really want to bring this into video form so that I can offer a very similar experience to you. So I've already done session 1. I'll be working on session 2 and then session 3 over the next few weeks or so. So it's probably going to be about another month and a half before I have them all ready. But I'll be figuring out exactly how to put those out for everybody, what the cost will be. I want to keep the cost very affordable because I think it could be so beneficial for so many people. And it's the sort of thing you don't have to do it at the beginning of the year. It's meant to do whenever is the right time for you. So you could do it in the middle of the year. You could do it towards the end of the year. It really doesn't matter. But the beautiful portion, the beautiful part of all of this is it allows you to document your experiences, the things that come to you, the things you desire, really document them, get creative. And then by the end of the year, you've got this incredible journal filled with your experiences, and you can really see how you've grown throughout the year. And my guess is that by reflecting on this, you might say to yourself initially, what did I do this year? I don't think I did as much as I wanted to, but by going back and reflecting month by month, week by week, you will see an incredible story of growth, experience, celebrations, disappointments. It's all going to be in there. And it'll give you an opportunity to really say, wow, I really did a lot. And you can really compliment yourself and give yourself that pat on the back. So I'm so glad that you showed up today. I wanted to present this information so you could get to know me a little bit better. And I will be this year coming up with more one-on-one mentoring packages that I'm going to be offering. Like I said, right now I'm mostly doing group workshops because that's what works for me at the moment. And it's allowing me lots of experience. I'm building lots of great experience and practice, which is amazing. I love it. But I just want you to know, my takeaway for today is I just want you to feel, if you're tired, if you're searching, if you're feeling disconnected, that's okay. And you're not alone. And there are resources out here to help you. So I hope this has given you some sense of belonging. I will be doing videos at least once a month, maybe twice a month, and adding some more valuable resources along the way that I hope will bring clarity, support, transformation, and guidance to you. So I'm going to put my website here. You can find all kinds of good information on the website. And please like, share, and subscribe. I really would love to create this amazing community where more women are feeling supported and getting wisdom and guidance along the way. 1111 on the timestamp. That's my favorite number. So please feel free to comment. I would love to hear from you. And stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for showing up today, showing up for yourself today, most importantly. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Blessings to you.